Welcome everyone to the weekly RFOX AMA. Today we're doing a special interview for International Women's Day that's coming up on the 8th of March. And today it's a real pleasure to have four of our female team members at RFOX. There are many more, the team's growing, but let's get into it now with some intros just to kick off. How about you, Maria? Could you please give us a quick intro?
Sure. Hi, thanks for doing this with us today, Lenny. My name is Maria Hava. I'm the general manager for RFOX Media.
All right, and how about you, Ivy?
Hey everyone, my name is Ivy. I am Ben CA.
All right, Lala.
Hello, so I'm Lala Mohsin or Jazila, and I am the community director for RFOX.
Fantastic. And Elisa.
Hi, I'm Elisa. I'm a graphic designer for RFOX Games.
Fantastic. I'm going to ask all four of you a question. We'll start off with you, Elisa. How would you compare working in your previous industry to what you're experiencing in the blockchain tech work environment here at RFOX?
Well, before I started working with RFOX, I came from the agriculture industry, so it was really a different experience for me, but in a good way. When it comes to designing and understanding gaming or blockchain in general, there were a lot of new things to try and learn. But one thing I love about working so far with RFOX is that everyone encourages you to learn, and there's always someone who can help you when you have any concerns or resources that you could use as a guide. So yeah, my experience has been great so far.
That's great to hear. Awesome. How about you, Maria?
Well, I joined the company just recently, back in November. It was a bit of a marathon onboarding, literally just put you in straight into the fire. It was the Arcomoto sales. It was very exciting and a great way to really start, just immerse yourself in blockchain. My previous background actually is 25 years in traditional media and then digital media and now blockchain. And basically, I've been able to see sort of the evolution of communication, of technology in general, being at the forefront of it, right? So it's a bit of a hurdle, but that's also one of my sort of personal motivations where I'm not a technical person by training, but because I loved being at the forefront, creating solutions that actually matter to people. That's what made me excited about moving into the blockchain space and especially into RFOX.
Thanks, Maria. Okay, Lala, how about you?
Definitely. I think I resonate a lot with Maria as well because even prior to being in the blockchain sphere, I was in telco for a good 6 years. And it was very fun for telco at one point, but then you want something that actually is more out there in a sense of envisioning what the future is, because at the end of the day, in terms of what blockchain brings to the conversation, it defies whatever people initially had about it. And what people say that it's the .com of now is something I really agree on, because over the past 3 years, I've seen it evolve from just being like people talking about cryptocurrencies to something far beyond that already.
All right. Bye-bye, telco. Hello, blockchain. I can relate to that one. Feels good, doesn't it? And Ivy, so how would you compare working in your previous industry to what you're experiencing now in blockchain?
Well, this is a very different world. I am not able to compare this to the BPO industry at all, not at all. The customers, clients, and even people I'm working with have different skill sets, some of which I have not even heard of. However, what makes me excited the most is that we're doing something very new, very different. And this pushes me to think creatively and seek new knowledge daily. So very exciting.
Definitely. And Ivy, while I've got you there, how are you finding the learning side of blockchain, the learning curve, and what sort of training are you receiving now?
Okay, honestly, it's quite challenging at first, especially that I don't have any blockchain background or have tried to get into crypto before I started with RFOX. However, having Benny as my mentor, everyday mentor, he makes the complex stuff very simple, which I really appreciate. I know that I still have a long way to go, but with everyone in the team helping out, making me understand how to buy RFOX tokens, how to get into the vault using my Oculus headset, I can say that I'm getting there.
Okay, fantastic. And yeah, you're working really closely with Benny. I bet you're privy to a lot of really interesting conversations there. NDAs aside, have you got any
Yes.
juice for us? Just kidding. You don't need to
Nah,
answer that.
nah.
Okay. Elisa, how about you? How are you finding the blockchain learning curve? Because you've come from the agriculture industry, so it's a really big difference there. And what sort of training might you have received, if any?
At first, it was also a bit confusing for me. There were a lot of new terms to understand and how to do this and that. But along the way, the crypto training that RFOX does from time to time, it really helped me understand the basics. And yeah, like what Ivy said, a lot of our colleagues are really there to guide you if you have any concern about blockchain or crypto or how to do this. So yeah.
Okay, thanks. And Lala, you joined RFOX from a blockchain company, so you do have a bit of experience there. What motivated you to join us, and any thoughts on what RFOX is creating?
Sure. And I'll be very honest, at the time when I was reached out to about RFox, I really wasn't, looking anywhere. But because I'm very particular, especially when it comes to anything to do with blockchain builds, their background, who are their founders, who are their builders, because there are so many and there's so much noise in the industry, right? But when I had the conversation with the team and I realized that they were not thinking of a one type product, they were actually looking at it from a holistic standpoint, that it was a 360 connecting each different product together. And that was different. That's really definitely very, very different for me because usually when you're in blockchain or even if you're in the DeFi space, it's just on one segment. You don't think of the many different ways it can connect into, say, what we have right now is a metaverse. And that really bought me over. And I think it took only like half an hour before I honestly decided that. My previous boss, I think the moment I went into his room, I was like, I think I might be going somewhere. He already knew that my decision was made.
Excellent. And do you have a preferred area of crypto, like investing? So how about trading or DeFi, NFTs? What appeals to you?
I'm really more of a DeFi person, only because of the fact that the people around me, they've been really, really helpful in terms of educating me about DeFi. So I'm not as actively looking at charts. I like staking, something that, is very quite solid for me to actually go into. NFTs is definitely very new in Malaysia as well. And that's something that I have dabbled with, but DeFi is definitely my comfort zone.
Okay. Now, Maria, what do you see as the advantages of blockchain technology in the macro economy?
Right. Very profound question, Lenny, but thanks for asking. But for me, it's also kind of the same thing that really got me excited into joining Benny's team and to really buying into his vision, right? Which is, I mentioned earlier that Web 1.0 was about access to information. Web 2.0 basically was sort of giving people a voice, very strong social media aspects, and getting people to define themselves on their own terms, right? And now Web 3.0, which is really sort of the key sort of philosophy, if I may, around blockchain is really about democratizing the utility and the value creation, right, where the creator gets to determine and for himself or herself or themselves how they want to be, how their value and their creations want to be perceived. So they're the ones who determine what risk to take. They're the ones who determine the value of what they create. And it gives them more control over access to larger sort of clients and markets, and that's very exciting for me because even if my background is mainly media, I did have a stint as well in creating access, putting consumers together with finance products, but traditional finance products. So for me, um, what's really meaningful and what really resonated with me was when Benny actually described that blockchain in all its different solutions, and platforms that we're building here at RFox could actually provide economic upliftment to markets like mine. I'm from the Philippines, and that's really what clinched the deal for me, so to speak.
Now, a question for Elisa and Lala. We'll start with you first, Elisa. Think about the metaverse and the RFOX Vault. So, we at RFOX can be quite heads down and immersed in the work, and sometimes we miss really looking at and validating if the environmental designs, the metaverse economy, and the overall user experience are equally engaging to both genders. My question is, what would you look forward to seeing in the RFOX Vault metaverse?
Sorry, my dog is barking outside. Can you hear it? So yeah, as a designer for me, when I think about the vault, I'm really looking forward to see a very creative and high quality design that is also visually aesthetic, as you can see in our background, and a design that is also highly functional and well thought of, and just something that you would want to keep coming back into. But also a safe space for everyone that welcomes all types of people and all types of gender, and just really having to connect with other people in a meaningful and creative way.
Okay, thanks, Elisa. And how about you, Lala?
Yeah, I guess for me, being an avid FPS player, honestly, I'm really looking forward to games. I mean, I think visual studies side, you know, that is going to be amazing, right? But I want definitely somewhere I can socialize with my friends, because that's what made me go through the whole pandemic, was these kind of games. And like Alyssa was mentioning, you know, a safe space, because there are two people in the world of gaming. It's the one that, oh, we have a girl on our team, and oh my God, it's a girl. You know, so it's two different things that I hope that we can protect them even before we get those complaints coming in. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I can't wait to see all of you inside the vault and hanging out with you. That is going to be a lot of fun, and we are not far off from that. Okay, now Ivy and Maria. We'll start with you, Ivy, though. Who would you consider mentors in blockchain, and do you have any recommendations on who we should follow?
Just Ben. Do I need to say more? Since I get to talk to him every single day, I don't think I have to look at any other people to mentor me in this space.
Okay, how about you, Maria?
Well, yes, that's actually true, and it's not pandering. You know how few and far between it is to actually work directly with an influencer in the crypto space who's actually a thought leader, a real thought leader who doesn't hide behind anonymous sort of memes or profile pictures. Benny is Benny, right? And I think it's one of the things that
Yes.
also resounded for us here, is that there's it's equal opportunity, not just by for gender's sake, but it's really about transparency. He holds himself accountable to what he's building, and he gets people to really buy into it and hold themselves accountable to it. It's amazing how people will just follow this type of leader. It's not just about being a leader or an influencer or a thought leader in blockchain or in crypto. It's really as a business leader. He sees what we're going to be in 10 years. In my view, he's already there, and he's just asking us to hurry up and join him. It's fantastic. But obviously, for us to be able to do that for him and build the things that he is envisioning, um, I've had to. You have to be in charge of your own education when it comes to blockchain, right? There's a lot of influencers or self-proclaimed influencers, so you do have to be very cognizant about the type of information and the quality of information that you indulge yourself in, right? So for me, getting into the crypto space was very, as an older person, right? I'm a middle-aged person, so it is harder to kind of, find a good footing there, because you feel like you know what you know already, and then there's this crypto thing, there's this blockchain thing, right? So it has to be a deliberate effort to educate yourself again. So for me, it was Lady of Crypto, because her demeanor and communication is always balanced. She says what she needs to say, and her message is consistent. And I really appreciate that about her. It's also something, that type of balance in communication. It's very educated. It's very data driven. So that's something that really, resounds with me. The other thing, and the one I'm currently rereading actually, is the NFT handbook. If you're wanting to get into the NFT space and you don't know where to start and you need a 101, the NFT handbook by Q Harrison Terry. It's a really good place to start if you want to read the actual book. But what I'm doing is I have him in my ear as an audiobook, and I to help me build the tokenomics and really understand what the making sure that you understand the consumer first. It does boil down to sort of basic marketing philosophies and strategies as well. Just validated, in a more blockchain type of scenario. But I've found that Q Harrison Terry's way of explaining blockchain has really, aligned what I want to learn about NFTs and building valuable products around NFTs and crypto later on. Those are the two for me.
Awesome. And now to all four of you, how can we encourage more women to explore blockchain companies as their next career move? How about you start, Maria?
Oh, sure. This is a good place to start. RFOX is a fantastic place to start. Why? Because learning is a given, which is amazing, right? I mean, learning is a given. And we do have a very sort of heavy emphasis on our corporate values. Even early on as a startup, one of the things that Benny actually put, in place was our corporate values being people first, holding yourself accountable, trust in both your teammates, in yourself, and in your consumers as well, and building that trust. These are very sort of emphatic values that we've created a really legitimate and very consistent corporate culture around. And having said that, we're an Asia Pacific based company. We're obviously global in reach now, but thankfully for us who are already in the blockchain space, here at RFOX, this is an equal pay company, and I'm very proud to say that. It's an equal pay company. It's an equal opportunity company. I came into the space and I didn't have to think about whether or not I had to be likable. I had to be, to have to kind of claw my way up or what. It's really just about the work, about being trustworthy to your teammates, that you're doing the work that is expected of you. So if you are the type of person that wants to learn new things, that you desire to learn new things, and want to build your skill sets, this is a really good place to start. So obviously, since we're already an equal pay, equal opportunity company, and we're only a little over 20%, female in the company, it's just a matter of finding the right people who are experts in their own industries to come on board and learn blockchain here. And we hope to see a very sort of representative percentage or ratio for gender representation in the company in the near future.
Okay, fantastic. And how about you, Ivy?
Yep. So I think for me, as scary as it may sound, the blockchain industry is not very different from any other industry out there. The way I see it, blockchain companies created an opportunity for people to explore new career paths outside of their comfort zone. So if you're willing to take risks and just like what Maria said, learn new things, then this job might be for you.
Fantastic. Elisa, how can we encourage more women to explore blockchain companies as their next career move?
For me, a great way to encourage more women to get into blockchain is for us women to have a platform where we can share our experiences, and just us being part of RFOX to keep promoting and sharing people what we do here and what we do best, and just in a way that can attract new people or women specifically into the space.
Okay, and Lala, to finish off.
Yeah, I think the one thing starts from ourselves, right? Especially for women. And I think when all of us think about blockchain, it's like, ooh, it's a big word, it's a big thing, it's a very male-centric kind of vibe, right? That you get even when you go online. And I think we need to break that, definitely. Because at the end of the day, if there are no women in this industry, there will be no voices of what we want or what kind of products we need. So take that aside, and just pick up a book, try to understand it a little bit better, because it's not as hard as what it sounds like. Cryptocurrencies is just a big word that people throw around, but like, Maria and Ivy can vouch like how Benny just boils down to the basics. Bare basics is what you need to know. And honestly, even someone from a very corporate background will be able to pick it up. And I do hope to see more women in our team from traditional backgrounds to come in, because I don't think this industry is going anywhere anytime soon.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks for your responses there. Maria takes out the biggest RFOX Shill Award for that one. And Any advice to people wanting to get into the blockchain space in general and perhaps explore opportunities with RFOX? How about you, Maria?
Just go to rfox.com/careers. We are hiring like nobody's business. We need the help. If you're looking for a big change and big opportunities for personal growth, come join us. That's it.
Okay. Lala, what do you reckon?
Oh, well, I mean, Maria's done that part of it. So I guess for me, it's like for women, all right, in every country, there will be an organization or a community. Find the right community, right? That is the first thing. But make sure they're legitimate. Don't listen to people who say they're going to make you rich overnight. Put $100, you get 1,000 tomorrow. That ain't going to work. So you gotta make those calculated decisions when you become part of this industry in this circle, because again, red flags are everywhere, so be smart about it. But the first step is always getting to know the industry first. I mean, if you go in, blindly, then you might not necessarily feel comfortable either. So always find the right industry or the right people to talk to about it beforehand.
Okay, well, that is fantastic. Thank you so much, Maria, Ivy, Lala, Elisa. It has been awesome catching up with you, getting to know you a bit more and some more perspectives as well.
We'll actually be doing a little bit more of this. I think we'd be safe to say that a lot of us will be putting our faces forward and getting to know our communities a lot better. So hopefully we'll see you again soon. Thanks, Lenny.
Nice one. Okay, check us out on Discord, Twitter, and hey, give us a like and subscribe if you want to keep up to date with what RFOX is building. We'd love that. Thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.